Welcome, friends and family. Apparently, this event is being simulcast in Romania through the miracle of the internet. So hello to you as well. Hopefully you can hear me.
Yeah.
I'd like to take a moment and thank all of you for joining us on this most auspicious occasion. Each one of you, directly or indirectly, has had an immense impact on shaping and enriching the lives of both Ashish and Livia. I know that they are both extremely grateful that you're here to make this important day even more meaningful. Without you, we'd just be a small group of well-dressed weirdos standing on an empty beach. Your presence makes this a wedding. Thank you. It's okay, you can hold the applause. We are, of course, gathered here for Ashish and Livia, to share in the joy of their love and to witness the evolution of their relationship as they make the ultimate commitment that two individuals can promise one another, their futures. This afternoon, they begin their lifelong journey as husband and wife. Some time ago, Ashish called me to let me know the good news. With equal parts excitement and relief, he said, "Hey man, I just got engaged." I promise that's almost exactly how it sounded. I wasn't particularly surprised. I hadn't yet had the opportunity to meet Livia, but I knew that she existed, and I was pretty sure that marriage was the eventuality of this relationship. I did, however, suddenly realize that my little brother had quietly become a proper adult. I remembered the kid that he was, how he used to call me Mamu for the first few years of his life because he couldn't quite comprehend the letter S. How he was guaranteed to spill a drink at meal times, well past the age that it was considered adorable. He had to sleep on the floor when he came over to my house because of his propensity to roll off the bed. Sorry, man. I also considered the man he had grown up to be, and I couldn't help but be impressed. I knew whoever this woman was that Ashish had given a part of himself to must be amazing. And sure enough, Livia didn't disappoint. From the start, she fit into our family perfectly. She even got along with my dad, which anybody here will tell you is a pretty outstanding task. Just kidding, Dad, I love you. But most importantly, she understood Ashish on a level that most people will never understand anyone. She appreciated his positive characteristics, expertly navigated his quirks, and loved him not in spite of, but because of his flaws. The one, maybe two max that there are. She was everything any of us could hope for and much more. They fit together exactly. Not because either one of them was perfect, but because they were perfect for each other. Now, we all enjoy a good love at first sight story. They're simple, tidy, and comfort us with the notion that love can be easy. This is not one of those stories. No, Ashish and Livia opted to take the long way around, quite literally starting half a world apart. Whether by chance, fate, destiny, or dumb luck, their paths crossed. A seemingly insignificant interaction among countless others, but one that sparked a friendship. A friendship that forms the foundation of the relationship that we're here to celebrate today. They took their time to get to know one another, respect one another, trust one another, and undoubtedly irritate one another. That bond continued to grow, and slowly it transformed into something much more, until one day, just being friends wasn't enough. They had fallen in love. It wasn't a choice. Real love never is. It's just a thing that happens. It gets inside you, takes hold of you, and suddenly your life isn't yours anymore. Ashish and Livia were friends. Then one day they realized they couldn't imagine themselves with anyone else. Love is an inherently challenging thing to explain. It means different things to different people. And by a long way, it is the most complicated of human emotions. And honestly, I'm a bit out of my depth on the subject matter. So instead of standing up here and awkwardly stumbling through my thoughts on love, I'm going to borrow somebody else's words. Some French guy, whose name I can't actually pronounce, once wrote, "Love is a temporary madness. It erupts like volcanoes and then subsides. And when it subsides, you have to make a decision.
Yeah.
You have to work out whether your roots have so entwined together that it's inconceivable that you should ever part. Because this is what love is. Love is not breathlessness. It is not excitement. It is not the promulgation of eternal passion. That's just being in love, which any fool can do. Love itself is what's left over when being in love has burned away, and this is both an art and a fortunate accident. Those that truly love have roots that grow towards each other, underground, and when all the pretty blossoms have fallen from their branches, they find that they are one tree, not two." Is that savvy enough for you guys? I'm part of a generation that mostly misunderstands the concept of love. We throw the word around haphazardly to describe our affection for foods and TV shows. We mistake it for lesser feelings like infatuation and fondness. We presume that it's a flashy thing, best demonstrated through grand gestures. We search frantically for it while simultaneously living in fear of committing to it. But Ashish and Livia are different. They're extraordinary. They managed to find real love, the kind rooted in substance and grown over time. They had the courage to pursue it, overcame fears, challenges, and obstacles along the way. They came through the other side stronger for it, and now stand before us, prepared to irrevocably commit their lives to one another. Let that sink in. Ash, you can look at me now. Sorry. It has been one of the greatest privileges of my life to have had a little brother like you. We didn't talk about it much when we were kids because we didn't need to. So much of our dynamic was unspoken and just there. But you were my best friend before I fully understood what a friend was. It's literally impossible for me to explain to you or quantify to you the extent in which you've made my life better. You deserve somebody incredible. And if you can be half as good to her as you were to me, then she's going to be the luckiest woman ever. And I'm really glad that you found her, and very proud that you were able to hang on to her. Grazia Perugio. Livia, it took us entirely too long to meet. When we finally did meet, for the first time ever in Mexico, I felt like I had known you for years already. I've had the good fortune of meeting a lot of people in my life, and few of them have the caliber of character that I think that you possess. In the coming years, I will incessantly give you a hard time about your life choices for a partner. I'm going to tell you stories. I'm going to make up stories because I'm creative like that. And I'm going to make you second guess what the hell it is that you think you've gotten into. But today, on your wedding day, I want to acknowledge that you are about to marry one of the coolest dudes on the planet. He's not always going to make it easy, but you're here because you know he's worth it. And I cannot explain how happy I am that he picked you and that you are ever so slightly taller than him. Don't be afraid to lay down the law. From time to time, he needs to be put in his place. Marriage is universally regarded as an important milestone. Every culture in the world attaches to it a great deal of spectacle and fanfare. Hindu weddings, for example, are widely known as multi-day events full of symbolism and color. And while those kinds of traditions are important, they often overshadow what a wedding really is. A quiet promise between two people to love each other for all time. So in the spirit of purity and simplicity, and an attempt to beat out this high tide, we're going to skip the fire, the rice, and the coconut and get directly to the good part, so that Ash and Livia don't have to wait any longer than is necessary to start their new lives together. I got rings. Ashish, do you take this woman to be your wife and promise to love and honor her for all time?
I do.
And put a ring on it. Yeah. Livia, do you take this man to be your husband and promise to love and honor him for all time?
I do.
Awesome. Almost done. By the power temporarily vested in me by the state of Virginia, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may now awkwardly kiss each other for the first time in front of all these people.
We did it!